What's the Sitch, viewers? Welcome to another process time-lapse video by yours truly, Aziz Draws. This week was shorter because I only did 5 illustrations, but I still wanted to put some time in and make some illustrations inspired by Kim Possible, another favorite TV show of mine back when I was a kid. This one was pretty cool. Kim Possible was pretty cool because it's one of those, oh wait, that's right, I forgot. This Draken drawing I did took like an hour, and so I'm the time lapse footage for it is really short. Like like you're seeing, I just started the drawing and we it's done, and I was surprised too when I finished this illustration in about an hour 15 minutes. Didn't know what to do with the rest of my time. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Kim Possible is another favorite of mine because it was one of those shows where it's like, hey yo, this is kind of heat. And like as a kid, like as a little boy, you're thinking to yourself, a girl, right? You know, like that simple mindedness of it. But even then, I was like, nah, this show's too heat. Like even as a boy, you're like, nah, I can't. Nah, this show's too good. But yeah. For example, with Shigo, I drew this on twitch.tv/these draws, and these are the different poses that I decided to try out. Some suggested by the viewers, some that just came to mind, things that I thought about using, the compositions I thought about putting Shigo in, because it's not the first time I drew Shigo. The last time I drew Shigo was in 2020 for my vector month. So I decided I want to try something a little bit different this time around, try something else. So I figured, let me give Shigo one of her dresses from the show, because there was a few episodes where she does wear dresses. There's at least 2 different dresses I've seen her in. So I was like, let me try one of those. Looks like it could be interesting. And I wanted to have her kind of strutting. So the composition itself is pretty simple, with formal balance. You know, subject is right in the center. Things are just, kind of simple, zoomed out, nothing too crazy with perspective or anything. But I wanted to kind of put more emphasis on what she's wearing as well as her personality. Like, you see how she's strutting, you can tell she's very confident, and she's got like one of her energy blasts she's got charged up in her hand. So it was just like, I wanted this composition to showcase like her sense of confidence and power as she's walking with this dress. And I was like, okay, where I go wherever she go type beat. So that's what we have here. This one probably took the longest out of all the illustrations I did for this week. Part of it was because I was streaming. Also, another part of it was I just wanted to make sure that the form was good, since I put so much focus on it. I couldn't really get away with drastic perspective distortions or anything like that. So if something looks off, then it'll be very easy to tell. So, but that was the end result for this illustration. I didn't really know what to do for the background, so I kind of did this weird brushstroke thing. I don't know. It kind of looks cool. Sometimes I just do things for the sake of it because it looks cool. Next, we have not a character, but a location, Bueno Nacho. I wanted to take a quick little, detour from just drawing a bunch of characters from cartoons, and I wanted to put a focus on a location or a setting from these cartoons. And one location that Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable go to quite literally every episode is Bueno Nacho. Like, I don't know how those kids are able to eat just nachos every day like that. Like, look at their like physique. They're like incredibly fit. I don't get it. Maybe they have a high metabolism. I don't know. Maybe the nachos are actually real healthy and we don't know about it. Listen, it's weird, okay? It's weird. So I was like, you know what? Let me draw a Bueno Nacho illustration, and this time have it slightly animated. So see here, I didn't really do the whole building because I knew that would take a lot of time. So I kind of cheated with the composition here. So I decided, you know what, I'll draw the top part of the building, with the hat and the sombrero, and then would have the sign for Bueno Nacho in front of it. And then what I would do is I'd do like a quick little animation with like this, with the rack focus effect that you see in film. And I did that in After Effects. And most of the illustration took place in Clip Studio Paint. But then, as you can see here on this animation, I did a bit of a rack focus and had a now open thing pop up. cute little fake ad I made. Next, we have the lad, the one and only Ron Stoppable. It was fun doing the thumbnail sketches for this one. I'm not going to lie, because there are a lot of ways you can show Ron Stoppable's character, because he's very animated, because he moves quite a bit and is very like excitable. Like he subjects himself to a lot of different compositions and poses and like movements that you could definitely get a lot of ideas out of. And the one I ended up landing with is kind of this scenario where Ron is running through the hallway of his school. I don't know, maybe he's running late, maybe he's trying to get to Kim because he discovered something urgent. Who knows? But it was just, the idea here was to create a very expressive and dynamic perspective of like Ron Stoppable. So we have him running in with this kind of Dutch shot as well as drastic perspective. You can tell like the camera lens is real short here, because everything is supposed to be able to fit in while you're also getting enticing this like scenario. Like you're kind of getting a low angle shot of Ron just running. So yeah, that was the objective here. And also with all of the illustrations, I wanted to go for that comic style of rendering and drawing, especially with the line art. You can see I put more focus on line art for each of these drawings compared to the other illustrations I've done this past year. And it was just, just to experiment with different styles. I like to try stuff that I might not be doing too much. Like if I notice, hey, I'm not trying line art as much, I might go, oh, let me go over there. If I want to try some painting styles, I want to go over there. Things like that will occur. So this is one of those weeks where I was like, you know what, let me try more comic style lining and coloring. So that's why the line art is more complex, whereas the coloring became less intricate and more simple. But yeah, that's why I went for these styles, because I wanted to kind of create this cool, like, what if Kim Possible was a comic book feel. And so there we have Ron Stoppel and Rufus in the book bag, but I'm not going to tell you that's the only time you're going to hear me talk about that. that's your version of Rufus that you're going to get for this illustration. Anyway, last but not least, we have the girl that can do anything. You can call her, beep her if you want to reach her. If you want to page her, that's okay. Kim Possible. This one, I wanted to create a shot of her in action, because that's typically how we see Kim in the show. She's typically in action, whether it be at school when she's cheerleading or if she's on a mission. She's always on the move. So I wanted to have a composition that was appropriate and paid homage to that character. The same thing, like I said, with the Ron Stoppable illustration, I wanted to go for a more comic book style. That's why I'm defining the areas where value changes and shadows and things like that are being defined by line art, as opposed to just painting it. And so that was the reasoning for all that line art, especially on the pants. Look how many lines I put on the pants. You think I'm Hirohiko Araki at this point? Not really. Nah, that dude's goated. But that's why there's so many lines. I also wanted to have, like, if you'll see later when I color the rest of this, but I wanted to kind of pay homage to the intro of the show as well. I was thinking about different ways that I wanted to make a background for this composition, and I felt that the appropriate one would be just, hey, put her in the intro background where it's like a bunch of blue with like the green lines and highlights and the effects. So you can see here I'm coloring everything close to the same color as the intro, where she's dodging the blasts. So that's kind of where that idea came from, where she's doing the backhand spring, and you see lasers are being shot at her, because it's Kim Possible. There's a lot of people who want her to be taken down, but because she's Kim Possible, because she can do anything, they can't. But that's it for this week. Thank you for watching, and we got one more week of childhood cartoons, because there's going to be more childhood memories. Greetings, humans. On behalf of Aziz Draws, I, Model A2Z, would like to thank you for watching this video. If you want to continue supporting Aziz Draws, be sure to follow him on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch.tv where he will be drawing live on Mondays and Wednesdays. If you want to continue supporting Aziz Draws even further, be sure to go to his Patreon, where you will have access to watermark-free drawings and potentially even Clip Studio paint files to have access to the process and layers of each drawing. Until next time, humans, farewell.